trouble. It's 8 pages long. Richard would have wanted me to make it real short. What if I just said he was born in 1947, died this year? Any questions? That's a little too short. Hello, everyone. Thanks to each of you for attending this military honors ceremony regarding the passing of Richard Casey Callahan, known as Dick, who moved on from this world on April 3rd, 2021, at the too young age of 73. I'm Greg Christopherson, and I have the privilege of being married to his daughter, Lisa Callahan. It's my great honor to be chosen to speak here. I wish to express the family's gratitude to Miramar National Cemetery for providing this ceremony and venue, and for the outstanding presentation given by the Military Honor Guard. We are all very fortunate to have their dedication and their service. We're here today to show our love and respect for Richard. The fact that you are here today shows how much he was loved, and is also a testimonial to the important role that each of you played in his life. It should be noted that COVID-19 regulations reduced the allowable size for this gathering. I'm certain that otherwise it would have been massive. Richard is survived by his wife and life partner, Callahan. They enjoyed a marriage of 55 years. Yes, getting married at age 18 can succeed. He's also survived by his daughter, Lisa Callahan, his granddaughter, Caitlin Callahan, his sister, Mary Nile Pierce of Oklahoma, and numerous other relatives. Richard was preceded in death by his parents, Alvin Casey Callahan, who was born in 1908, and Audrey Lucille Beams, who was born in 1915. Also, and tragically, his two sons, David, who was born in 67, and Ryan, who was born in 76, each passed away earlier and far, far too soon. Now, Richard was born on July 1st, 1947, in McAlester, Oklahoma. His grandfather had settled there and was a local businessman. This town is known as a crossroads in the Choctaw Nation, and Richard was actually proud to be a card-carrying Choctaw member. Aside from the Native American pride, I think he got discounts and other benefits by having that card. He loved a good deal. His family moved to Oceanside in 1955, and he grew up at the beach. Very tough conditions, I want you to know. He would often speak of his fond memories of his tiny house near the pier in Oceanside. As he matured, he became an avid fisherman, he did some hunting, and developed exceptional musical skills and played in bands. He graduated from Vista High School in 1965, which is the location where he met Karen D. Koval, who was in the same grade as he was. Falling in love, they did not waste any time, ran off to Tijuana and got married in September of that same year. And as is so often in the case with young newlyweds, Karen quickly became pregnant, and Lisa was due to be born in June of '66. As a prospective father, Richard wanted the best benefits for his family. For that reason, and wanting to serve his country, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy in November 1965. He trained in San Diego, which was a special thing at that time. Most of the recruits got shipped elsewhere. He served on the USS Lyman K. Swenson, a destroyer, and he was a midship mechanic. His tour of duty was in the Pacific and included seeing some action during the Vietnam War. Interestingly, he learned barbering while being a midship mechanic. We like to think he probably made some good money on the side doing that. He frequently talked of the extreme heat he had to deal with in the South Pacific and below decks, and how he ruined so many uniforms. He was honorably discharged in 1971. Richard understood the importance of education. After the Navy, he got his bachelor's degree in finance from San Diego State. He did this while working full-time at various locations, such as Sears Finance, San Diego County Credit Union, Dial Finance. Here we go, talking about money again. He even worked as a tree trimmer, however, anything it took. He always did the best effort to be the best possible provider for his family he could be. But he had a long-term desire to be his own boss. His first business was the ownership of a very successful small collections agency. He used to tell stories about knocking on people's doors to collect money and past debtors. I don't think he'd be too comfortable doing that these days. He also entered the retail industry. He opened a very productive electronics store on what was known as Hill Street back then in downtown Oceanside. But he saw an opportunity to make some money cutting hair as a barber for real this time. He got his license and opened his back gate barbershop in the 1980s. He had a built-in customer base of U.S. Marines. His successful venture is still going strong today and remains a vital part of his family operations. He spent a great deal of time at Dick's Backgate Barbershop, not only cutting hair, but entertaining the young Marines with his stories, his great conversations, and almost on any topic. Richard Casey Callahan. His initials are RCC. I think that you'll agree with me if I say his name could have been, and I'm going to date myself here, real cool cat. Let's talk about real. There was only one Richard. He never put on fake personas. He never tried to disguise his nature or his identity. Impressing others was never a priority. If he was at a place and everyone was wearing a suit and tie, he was fine with his Hawaiian shirt and Birkenstocks. He enjoyed simpler things in life. Good food, sweet treats, a cold beer after working the soil, or maybe before. Music, warm sunshine, pizza and games night on Friday nights at the house, and a good movie, usually at home. Yeah, he got a Porsche too. We all got to splurge sometimes. He understood the value of time. And his highest priority was time with his family and his friends. That's being real. I first met Richard 22 years ago. Lisa and I had been dating a short while. It was time for me to introduce me to her parents. I was a little nervous. I'm in the process of a second divorce. I've got minor children. I'm an ex-cop. And her dad was only 4 years older than me. Plus, Lisa had already told me several times that her dad was a bit more, shall we say, liberal than I was. So I even had an eye infection that momentous night. And I was in pain. I couldn't see clearly. I was a wreck. Well, Richard and Karen welcomed me into their home, made me feel comfortable, and he talked to me as if we'd known each other for years. No weird questions, no drama, just kindness and laughter. That's being real. while later, Richard and I rode our motorcycles to Colorado together. I showed up with about 50 pounds of gear and 3 different bags on a big old full-dress Harley. I was prepared for anything, I thought. He showed up on a small motorcycle with 1 bag and a big smile. I was thinking, I don't have anything to loan him. I hope he's okay. I got my butt covered, but I don't know about him. And I said, are you sure you have everything you need? He said, I'll be just fine. And he was. We saw rain, wind, hail, you name it. Never heard a complaint. He was self-sufficient to his own standards. That's being real. Wherever you were, whenever you were with Richard, it was always the same Richard. An easygoing man, a man you could trust, have fun with, and engage in great conversation. Plenty of joking. But if you asked, he would always give you his honest opinion in a polite manner. That's being real. RCC. C for cool. Richard was definitely cool. Being cool is defined as a person who does their own thing and stays true to their own course. We tend to admire people who have the confidence to boldly pursue the life that they want. The happy people, the content people, the people who look internally for satisfaction. Richard was one of those people. Richard knew what he enjoyed and he was never swayed. He kept aware of fads and trends. Again, great conversation. But he didn't allow anything to overly influence his decisions. He never needed the biggest, the best, or the most expensive. His focus was always upon that which brought him the most joy: his family, his friends, and his activities. He played and wrote music. He prospected for gold. He brewed craft beer. He performed in bands at live gigs. His favorite word was party. That's cool. Richard was always calm under pressure. He would logically seek the most efficient and usually the cheapest solution to any problem. I didn't even know that they made plastic faucets for kitchen sinks until he found one and paid $10 for it. It worked! He was not easily upset. Whenever he heard someone say, "So-and-so curses like a sailor," he would always respond, "I wasn't a sailor. I don't curse. That's cool." In recent years, he spent a fair amount of time with his home brewing club, the Barley Literates. I love that name, such a play on words. He successfully brewed many types of great tasting beer. Quite a few of us here today were able to enjoy his brew at the many Callahan social events at the ranch in Fallbrook. Those were great times. Friends knew there was always something happening at the Callahan property, and everyone was welcome. It was exciting and cool. Richard also had some success prospecting for gold. He loved going to the local and some distant canyons, panning the rivers. Friends and family members sometimes went with him. He even purchased a camping trailer to serve as prospecting headquarters. To see the excitement on everyone's faces when he would come back home with this little tiny vial with a little tiny sparkly speck in it was wonderful. It created great memories and a lot of fun. It was priceless. Nah, he never hit the mother lode, but the local newspaper did a feature article on him and his exploits. That's cool. Now, how do I tie in cat? A real cool cat. Well, cats are very curious by nature, right? We all know that. But you also know what they say about curiosity in cats. Not necessarily good. But cats have 9 lives. So the odds of satisfying and surviving one's inquisitive nature are pretty good. And Richard made sure to take advantage of that belief. He was intensely curious. So much that his knowledge of the world, the universe, was exceptional. Pick a topic, any topic. He could discuss and debate with you for hours. He was not faking it. He had the facts. Government? Check. Military operations? Check. Financial news? Check. Politics? Check. History? Check. I never found any topic I could stump him. He knew about it. Sometimes I thought he was faking it, but he was good enough to bluff it past me. If you really wanted to make his eyes sparkle, just light up like the brightest sun, just start mentioning space aliens or UFOs. And you better grab another beer if you're going to go into that one. His love of the paranormal, space, ufology makes me wonder. Did he select April 3rd, 2021 as his departure date? Why do I ask? Look at the date. 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Interesting. I think it would be just like him to do something like that. At holidays, birthdays, and especially Christmas, his curiosity would shine. He was usually the first to open his gifts. He couldn't wait. Kids are waiting, he's digging in. And if he thought a gift was candy, especially chocolate, it was opened and devoured immediately, but he did offer to share. He was blessed to have never lost the child within, and his enthusiasm was contagious to all around him. Yes, Richard really enjoyed knowing the how, why, and when of things, and that trait served him well during his life. Yes, real cool cat. If there ever was one, it was Richard Casey Callahan. None of us know our allotted time on this planet. We often hear words like live in the moment, make every day count, or time lost is never found. And these are valid statements, but they can impart a certain amount of stress to perform at some elevated level. There's another saying from the Dalai Lama that I'm sure Richard understood and chose to prioritize. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Richard knew how to be happy and to share that joy with others. We're all saddened by the loss of Richard in our lives, and he will be greatly missed. But please take comfort in the fact that Richard led the life he wanted, achieved many goals, and will be forever remembered in a positive way by many people. Enjoying life to the fullest, that is Richard Casey Callahan, a real cool cat. You'll always remember his smile. In honor of Richard's Native American heritage, I wish to close with 2 Native American proverbs. One is, there is no death, only a change of worlds. That's from the Duwamish tribe out of Washington State. The other is, they are not dead who live in the hearts they leave behind. And that's the Tuscarora tribe out of North Carolina. Now, I've barely touched on the surface of the many heartwarming stories that could be told regarding his life. I'm sure all of you could talk at length about Richard. If anyone wishes to make a statement, you'll be given the opportunity at the toast after we leave here at Prohibition Restaurant and Brewery. Just let me know. I want to thank you again for coming out and attending. I know without doubt that Richard is pleased. Thank you.